Tonight, President Biden makes his State of the Union address to a divided Congress, a new GOP Speaker of the House, and the American people.
And while unemployment numbers are down and inflation seems to have cooled down, new poll numbers show some Americans have lost faith in the president's accomplishments so far. So joining us with more on that is the White House Director of Communication, Kate Bedingfield. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so let's start with what we can expect from the president's big speech tonight. What will President Biden tell us about the current State of the Union?
Sure. Well, you're going to hear about all of the progress that we've made over the last 2 years, the accomplishments of the Biden-Harris administration, including, as you just mentioned, record low unemployment, 12 million jobs created over the first 2 years of this administration, wages going up, more small businesses being created, and also historic accomplishments in terms of investments in our infrastructure, in roads and bridges around the country, in terms of one of the most significant gun safety laws to be passed in the last 30 years. So you're going to hear the president talk about the progress we've made, and you're going to hear him talk about his vision for the future. It's a very optimistic speech. It's about how we can build on the progress we've made to finish the job. So that's what you can expect to hear from the president tonight.
All right, Kate, let's talk more numbers. You mentioned unemployment is down with over 500,000 jobs added. Inflation numbers in some areas like gas are down. While those numbers may be good, a new ABC News Washington Post poll shows that 41% of Americans feel their finances are worse off under President Biden. What will he say to make the case for the state of the economy?
Well, the state of the economy is strong, and he will talk about that. But he'll also say, as he always does, that we have a ways to go. We have more work to do. Remember where we were when we came into office 2 years ago. The economy had almost ground to a halt as a result of the pandemic. The president took swift, decisive action, and as a result, we're now looking at 12 million jobs created over the first 2 years of his presidency. We're looking at, as you said, unemployment at a historic low. Again, small businesses being created, wages going up, more breathing room for folks. You know, if you look at, for example, the Inflation Reduction Act, one of the president's signature accomplishments of the first 2 years in office, one of the things it does is cap prescription drug costs. And so that gives families more breathing room as people are working through their family budgets. When you're not paying as much for prescription drugs, for some of the things that you depend on, you have more money to put to other things. So the president really thinks about the economy in terms of what do families need when they're around the kitchen table. You'll hear him talk about that tonight, and you'll also hear him talk about what we need to do to continue to build on that progress to ensure that more people across the country are feeling it.
And the economy, obviously a huge issue that is on a lot of people's mind. But tonight's speech also comes in the wake of the brutal police brutality against Tyree Nichols. So his parents will be among the guests tonight of the president's. What are the president's plans, not just to speak about this issue, but also to address it on a legislative level?
Well, the president has taken action on this front. You know, he said for 2 years Congress should send the George Floyd Policing Act to his desk. And when they didn't, when Senate Republicans prevented that from happening, he took executive action. He put out an executive order that requires stronger accountability for use of force and additional accountability across the board for police. So this is something that he has been, he's taken action on, and he's going to continue to push Congress to take action on. Obviously, he can't do it alone. As you say, legislative action is required. It's something he's going to push for. He believes that we need accountability and that police also need the resources that they need to be able to do their jobs well, to ensure that that trust that should exist between the police and the communities that they serve can be there. So this is something that he has pushed Congress on and will continue to push Congress on.
And Kate, now to another topic of concern. We all watched last week as that so-called Chinese surveillance balloon floated across the country for days. Republicans say waiting to shoot it down showed weakness toward another superpower. So how is the president responding to that criticism?
Well, nothing could be further from the truth. The president took decisive action and shot the balloon down, but spent the couple of days collecting information on the balloon. So by allowing a couple of days to pass, we not only mitigated what the Chinese were able to surveil from us, but we were also able to collect intelligence back on them. So we know more about their tradecraft and their capabilities now from having observed and collected on that balloon for a couple of days before shooting it down over territorial waters, sending a message to China that this was a completely unacceptable violation of our sovereign territory. But shooting it down over water means that we are able to better recover the payload and, again, learn more about their capabilities. So this was a smart decision, a tough decision that sent a message while also making as I say, a smart decision to gather information from the balloon.
All right, Kate Bedingfield, White House Communications Director, we appreciate your time and thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me.
And a programming note, make sure you tune in tonight for complete coverage of that historic State of the Union address. It will be right here on ABC, 9 o'clock Eastern.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.